Hey, welcome back. Plant Bus here at McCord's Gardens in Provo, Utah. Another beautiful summer day, and it is hot as can be down here. You know, I was thinking the other day, a lot of our customers buy these beautiful hanging baskets that McCord's grows, and they're incredible. But you know, it's about this time of year that you start looking at those baskets, or maybe at a flower box, and you're thinking to yourself, good gravy, what do I do with this? It's not looking like it used to. Well, don't fret. Don't throw it away. I've got some simple solutions. You'll love deadheading these things and also cutting them back so that they will look incredible in just 7 to 10 days. So here's what you need to do. 3 things. First, you need to make sure you have the right tools to use. I usually recommend pruning shears that are pointed pruning shears. The other ones are for branches, so we don't want to use them. And also a good sharp pair of scissors. One thing to remember about deadheading is that most plants have been genetically bred nowadays that you don't have to deadhead them. They will still keep blooming irregardless of pulling out the dead blooms. But if you're like me and you look at that and you think, God, that looks kind of ugly, I would deadhead a little bit and make the planting look a lot nicer. So the first thing you're going to do, in this case we have geraniums. We're going to go ahead and we're going to clip these geraniums, their stem, the bloom stems, all the way down to within the foliage. That way we can hide any leftover stem that we don't want people to see. Make sure that as you're doing that you're getting the dead ones or the mostly dead ones so that we can encourage the plant to put out some more flowers. And we want to clean it up so it looks really good. Now, perhaps some of you have a sweet potato vine or some sort of a cascading plant in the planting. For the most part, anything that's foliage oriented, like a sweet potato vine such as this, you're going to want to leave because those look really good and they'll keep vining and getting bushy and look nice for the rest of the season. But the flowering plants are the ones that you're mainly going to be dealing with. Once you get your filler and thriller plants cut back so that they look really nice and neat, you can move on to things like petunias that are a little more cascadey, but that get very leggy when it gets hot. Now, don't be afraid to do this, my friends. You're going to want to cut any of this type of plant right back to the edge of whatever it is planted in. That looks very, very drastic, and it actually does not look very pretty right now. But as I was saying before, in 7 to 10 days, and I've timed this, it will grow very, very well. Once you have the garden box completely cleaned up, and in the interest of time, I'm not going to do the whole box right now, you can also pull off any dead or dry foliage just to get the air circulation going down inside the planting. So we'll be pulling things like that out. This is also a good time to start looking for any insect issues or fungus issues that you might have with the planting too. And if you see any issues like that, then feel free to call us here at McCord's or your local garden center to find out solutions for the insects and also for any fungus issues that you might have. We're not going to talk about that right now though. What we are going to talk about is the final step, and that is to make sure that you get a very good high phosphate fertilizer, because this is key into reviving a planting such as this. Now remember, our first number is nitrogen, our second number is phosphates, and our third number is potassium. We want that middle number really high. In this case, it's at 58 with this Fertilome blooming and rooting product, so that it will tell the root systems of the plant to stay healthy, and also it will tell the plant to put out more flowers. That's what phosphates does for plantings. Once you have your planting completely cleaned up, apply this, a tablespoon to a gallon of water, water it down, and I would say to continue fertilizing this about every 2 to 3 days, just to give it a really good shot in the arm so that the blossoms will start popping out again. Alrighty, so remember 3 things. Cut back your plants, deadhead them, cut all the way back to the rim. Also, use the appropriate tools. In this case, pointed pruning shears and a good sharp pair of scissors. And number 3, a high phosphate fertilizer to be applied once you've cleaned everything up. And I've timed this, and in 7 to 10 days, you will see that overtired looking planting pop again with new life and be beautiful from now until it frosts. Thank you for joining me today, and if you have any questions, ping us at McCord's. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.